everybody, Gabby here, and welcome to today's episode of A Battle a Day. Now, I know it's been a while since I've recorded one of these, and I just want to say it was because my morning YouTube time was actually going to practicing for the Union Cup, which was a TCG tournament that I was a part of this past weekend. If you want to see how my run went, spoilers alert, it went really well. Of course, it was amazing. You can check that out on my Twitch channel by going into the VODs. So thank you so much for your understanding. I realize that I'm not the most consistent YouTuber out there, but I'm working on it. So today I wanted to do something a little bit different as we are getting towards the end of the season this week. And I wanted to showcase a weird team that came up on my radar, I want to say like a week and a half ago, that just looked like fun. And it has a couple of the tools that I want to try out / get comfortable with moving forwards going into I guess Series 8. Yeah, going into Series 8 and going into those restricted formats and, you know, seeing some Pokemon that I haven't really seen in a long time. So this team was the winner of the Global Challenge 2021 Winter Final. Actually, it wasn't the winner. It came in 5th and got 16th place. Or no, it came in 5th place and it came in 26th place. And you have to forgive me for the typos in my speaking. It was posted on the Liberty Note blog, which is that Japanese blog that I like to go to for interesting teams. And it was built by Hot. They do have a Twitter handle, but it's a lot. So I think I'm just going to ask that you take a look at the comments or the video description down below to get that info because I don't think I can pronounce this. I don't think this is this is human language. I think that's a machine hash of something. But it's really interesting because it has... Well, for one, it has Tapu Lele, Metagross, which have some amazing synergy that I haven't really seen that often on teams that as much as I thought I would going into Series 7. But it also has a Slurpuff. And as soon as I saw the Slurpuff, it's one... So Tapu Lele and Slurpuff are my friend Regina's like favorite Pokemon. So I sent this team immediately to her and I was like, you gotta see this. You gotta see this. But more importantly, you know, I've just been intrigued by it because it's, you know, Unburden plus a seed in terrain has always been a very consistent strategy. You probably have seen this more commonly in the form of Tapu Lele and Drifblim. But Slurpuff can do it too. Slurpuff gets access to Fake Tears and Yawn, which are very good moves in the format, and String Shot for speed control. So it's a very unique pick, and I wanted to try it out for myself because it also seemed like a lot of fun. But going through the team, you know, Pokemon by Pokemon, Steel Roller Metagross with weakness policy, so you either have to preserve terrain on your own part if you're going to try to use that more than once, or you can go ahead and Dynamax it and just go for the max Steel Spike. But I thought that was pretty interesting. Definitely a little more aggressive than the standard Metagross that'll run something like a Meteor Mash or an Iron Head in there. Personally, if I were running a Zen Headbutt Stomping Tantrum Metagross, I'd probably go Iron Head over Meteor Mash just because you want to have one move that's accurate. But Steel Roller, if there's terrain, it hits. So Porygon 2 with Foul Play, Eerie Impulse, Trick Room, and Recover. This is very similar to the Porygon 2 that I've been running recently with Eerie Impulse that I got from Yuki. But it's also different because Foul Play over Tri-Attack is a pretty large difference, and given the prevalence of physical attackers in past restricted Pokemon formats, I'm wondering if Foul Play makes sense to carry forward. I'm not quite sure on that one, but I really like Eerie Impulse on Porygon 2. It's been like my favorite move on it so far, so really hoping to keep that, but we'll see if Foul Play ends up working out. The Slurpuff, like I mentioned earlier, can use String Shot for speed control, Fake Tears, and Yawn. Pretty standard moves at this point, hopefully not too surprising. But more importantly, the Unburdened Psychic Seed combination with the Choice Specs Tapu Lele just sets you off for an immediate offensive start, because you could lead Slurpluff and Tapu Lele, get the Unburdened speed boost from activating Psychic Seed, go first, string shot, and then ensure Tapu Lele can outspeed thanks to the dynamic speed changes. So definitely something that is a little bit different, and I'm really hoping we get a good lead that I can try that out with in our game today. Whereas, you know, Choice Specs Tapu Lele is pretty straightforward, judging by the moves. It's just coverage. Good coverage, but still coverage. Anyways. Incineroar. Also pretty standard here. Running Citrus Berry over Figgy, Snarl, Fake Out, Parting Shot, Flare Blitz. This honestly feels like the standard Incineroar, but with a earlier berry activation thanks to Citrus Berry activating when you're at half health, rather than Figgy, which is 25%. And last but not least, and this is another Pokemon that I have my eye on going into Series 8, is Zapdos with Static and Life Orb. Static is the hidden ability that Zapdos got access to thanks to the hidden ability capsule, and runs a chance of paralysis on anything that makes contact with it, which I think is going to be pretty huge. You know, Thunderbolt, Hurricane, Heatwave are great coverage. With Dynamax especially, you can get Electric Terrain up to stop your Pokemon from going to sleep. You can use Max Airstream for speed control. If you're facing off against something like a Kyogre or another Water-type Pokemon, you can use, you know, the Heatwave max move to get the Sun up. There's a lot of potential here. And I think given that I'm anticipating Series 8 to devolve into like this weird Weather War plus Zacian metagame, I think it's going to be pretty cool. So that's what I want to try out for today. I've already downloaded the team to my cart, so we're good. So we're just going to jump on the ladder and see how it goes. So yeah, I'm actually doing pretty well this season too, all things considered. I might make a push for like top 1K this week. Admittedly, I didn't play all weekend, so, you know, you're going to get some decay, but I really want to try and finish in the top, like, 1K for the season, just because it's been so long since we've been close, and even though the ladder numbers don't really mean anything at the end of the day, it's definitely like a personal progress kind of thing. Like, you know, every month you want to do better than the previous month. It's a way that you can feel that accomplishment stuff, and I don't know, I just want to get better at laddering. So we'll see. But anyways, fortunately for us, our opponent has a fairly slow team. So we're going to see the Glastrier, a Primarina, Incineroar, Rillaboom, Togekiss, and Dusclops. Slow enough that I'm not sure I want to lead Tapu Lele SLURPUFF, but I'm going to do it regardless because I said I wanted to try it out, so we're going to try it out. But I am going to bring the Porygon 2, so we have an anti-Trick Room policy, and then the Metagross as well, just to hopefully counter the Glastrier along with the Primarina. If we're going to see a Trick Room lead right off the bat, I think what I'll do is just switch out the Tapu Lele for my Porygon 2, and just leave the SLURPUFF on the field and kind of hope for the best. But again, we'll see. I feel like a Rillaboom Dusclops lead would be a pretty strong lead from this person. Like, I've seen this team before. I know what you want to do. I'm going to stop you kind of thing. Whereas I would expect something more like this with, you know, redirection plus Trick Room for a more standard, I guess, starting set. So we are going to get Terrain up, and we are going to get the Psychic Seed Unburden activation going. So even though SLURPUFF won't be the fastest thing on the field after the Trick Room that you know is going to happen from this Dusclops, we can use this opportunity to go ahead and yawn the Togekiss or the Dusclops. Admittedly, we have only so much of a choice here because if the Togekiss goes for redirection, that's on my opponent. But I don't want to leave Tapu Lele out on the field like this, and I'd much rather switch in P2 and just get a little bit of actually a lot of it is Super Luck. All right, you know what? I'll take the Super Luck Porygon 2. I don't think that makes much of a difference in this matchup, but it might. I don't know. All right, so there's the Trick Room activation as well. So now that Togekiss has been yawned and is going to go to sleep within one turn, I think it's pretty safe to assume that my opponent is going to switch it out for something like the Glastrier. So we'll switch in our Metagross, we'll reverse the Trick Room, and then we'll go from there. A little bit nervous about the Dusclops having access to Will-O-Wisp. That would certainly shut down the Metagross. But for now, this really is our best play. So, yep, there's the Glastrier. So I'm okay with making this trade. I don't think he would go for a Will-O-Wisp right into the Slurpuff slot. I think he would be more likely to go for a Nightshade there. Or Brick Break into his Glastrier to activate the weakness policy. You know what? That's fair too. That is very fair. So, yeah, we really need to figure out how to shut down the horse moving forwards now that it is at +2 attack. And special attack, I guess, but that doesn't really matter. So, I wonder how much Foul Play would do to Metagross if I Dynamaxed. Because I'm trying to think of what my best shot of knocking out the Dusclops is going to be, so that way he can't reset Trick Room. And I feel like personally it would be just going for big damage. And we have Max Mindstorm. It's already going to be terrain boosted since Psychic Terrain is already up. And, you know, at +2 attack, I feel like that's probably the biggest thing we can come out swinging with. Maybe Steel Roller would do more, but I kind of doubt it. So, yeah, and he's going for his horse too. I wanted to also go for Dynamax here because I feel like the Glastrier is going to go for a Max Quake into the Metagross, and I felt like this was the only thing I could really do to sort of threaten that. I thought about targeting the Glastrier this turn, but I was a little bit worried that my opponent would go for a Max Guard, predicting something and shenanigans and Trick Room, and yeah, okay, my turn ordering's off because Porygon 2 is so slow. Alright, well, as long as that's not the difference between me getting knocked out by a Max Quake or not. I guess I've been playing with slow weakness policy too often because that keeps happening, but it's fine. My opponent's also going for the knockout into Porygon 2, probably recognizing that Porygon 2 is going to be the Pokemon that reverses speed control on my side of the field. Also getting the defense boost helps out a lot too, so... But that's fine. He needs to keep targeting the Porygon 2 if he wants to keep me from going for Trick Room this turn, so you know what? That's okay. I will go for the Steel Spike into the Dusclops this turn, and admittedly, yeah, you do have Will-O-Wisp, okay. Admittedly, if I did realize that P2 would be slower and I wouldn't see the activation there earlier, I probably would have gone for it last turn as well to get the defense boosts up, and it would have made Porygon 2 able to hopefully hold on after those 2 attacks. I'm not 100% sure on that. So that was my B. And unfortunately now I think the snowball has started with Glastrier. And yeah, we're not going to be able to shut it down, I don't think. Not with a Slurpuff and a Lele in the back. We just have to stall out Trick Room the old-fashioned way, and that's not going to work out well. So what we can do is we can boost our defense. On the off chance that Slurpuff gets to attack this turn, we're going to try and throw a Yawn into the Glastrier. But I would not expect it. I mean, really, and I hate to say it this way, but Slurpuff is kind of here as bait for the Glastrier so that it doesn't attack into the Metagross. My opponent might not take it, at which point then we Yawn a Glastrier and have 0 ability to protect next turn. Assuming anything will knock out the Metagross at this point. So yeah, it's really kind of a unfortunate position for this poor Slurpuff to be in. I apologize to all the Slurpuff fans out there. But yeah, that was unfortunately the best option. But still, the Glastrier has all the defensive boosts it needs at this point to just kind of steamroll. So we're going to try and go for like a double protect to save the day on the Metagross now that we're sort of out of any other options. But even if we do get the double protect, it's going to be a critical hit in order to win the game because we're going to have to ignore those defense boosts on the opponent's Pokemon. And that's just going to be hard to do otherwise, unfortunately. We do get to send in Tapu Lele to reset the terrain. Not that that's going to help that much at this point. I mean, maybe Steel Roller or something, but yeah, I don't even know. Yeah. Yeah. Turn sequencing, very important. Don't forget when you're activating a weakness policy on a team that you haven't used before, you should double check to make sure that you are actually going to activate the weakness policy before attacking, is today's lesson of the day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But no, real talk. Hold on, how many turns do we have left of Trick Room? Oh, I gotta do the thing this way. Oof, we're going for a double protect then. Alright. Maybe we'll get lucky and he'll just like attack the Metagross thinking, oh yeah, you know what? It's a gimme. And ignore the Lele, which is also a gimme, arguably even more so if he remembers that Frisk revealed choice specs. But okay, ally switch. Okay, okay. Come on, Metagross? Oh, nope. Nope, GG's. We're still gonna go for the double protect while we're here, but yeah. Really interesting too. I just realized this now that I'm like actually playing with this team. You know, there really is no way to stop Trick Room other than just playing the P2 counter game, which is always an interesting choice when team building. I personally don't like it. I would much rather have like a taunt user to shut things down. So if I were like modding this team to fit my expectations a bit better, I probably would have put a taunt on the Incineroar that's on the team. GG's. It was worth the shot. You don't need to ally switch, buddy. You're fine. Unless Stomping Tantrum, like, or excuse me, High Horsepower misses. Yeah, no. Yeah, I would have personally put like a taunt on here or something. I also have noticed that there is a lot more Will-O-Wisp as of late. I feel like it's more of an expectation at this point rather than at the beginning of the metagame. It just was like something that you could maybe see. So I think that I would probably also try to fit taunt on here to stop that. Going into Series 8, I think we're still going to see a lot of Will-O-Wisp because Zacian is such a beast. Not to be confused with an Ultra Beast, he's just a beast. But I'm going to save all that talk for a future video that I'm trying to like write now and just, you know, get all my thoughts down on paper for. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to be trying to use the SLURPUFF team all week this week, so hopefully we'll get some good games in, and I will remember that Porygon 2 is slower than a Metagross. But until then, if you like this video, if you like this series, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel here on YouTube. It really does mean a lot. One of my goals for 2021 is to be more consistent and also to try experimenting with different video types. So if you have a team you'd like to see me feature on this channel, or if you have like some cool video ideas or whatever, you know, let me know down in the comments below. I check them when I'm doing YouTube work. If I ignore them, it's not you. It's really just because I'm saving them for when I do YouTube work. So, you know, I try to be honest. Anyways, all right, I think that's it. I'm gonna cut myself off right now. Thanks everybody so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you on Wednesday for the next episode of A Battle a Day. So stay safe, everybody.